What is happening to Code in this crucial situation? What is he waiting for? And what grand scenario is he actually planning? Yeah, I'm Nim without an E, at least when it comes to talking about this Code. It's one of my favorite parts, not because I like the character, but more because of how fate will lead him. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? Because no matter how unfortunate, or more accurately, how much he suffers, we can't deny that since he was a child, he had to compete with Kawaki, especially since Kawaki took his position as the vessel of Ishiki Otsutsuki. Code, who loved Ida, also ended up heartbroken after Kawaki became the man Ida loved. And as we all know, the most heartbreaking moment was when Code, who was said to be a villain stronger than Jigen, ended up losing his eye and arm. Yep, exactly. After Sasuke destroyed one of his eyes, which was even similar to Boruto's, Code also had to accept defeat, or more precisely, be humiliated by the creature he created himself named Jura. I mean, all of his creations, like Momoshiki and others. Because based on the facts, the creatures Code created truly did not respect him, even belittling and mocking him. Ironically, Code, who was supposed to be the leader and have absolute authority over Jura and other entities like them, now finds himself as Jura's subordinate, tasked with killing Boruto's partner, Kashin Koji. However, after Chapter 15 revealed that Code had been hiding, where his role basically disappeared ever since Chapter 4, up to this point, with next month already entering Chapter 30, we still haven't seen any signs or clues about what mission Code is actually carrying out next. Yeah. You guys know what I mean, right? Is Code really looking for Kashin Koji, or is he just tricking Jura and keeping an eye on what's going on until he gets a chance to take advantage of the battle between the Konoha Shinobi and the divine tree human named Mamushi? However, for some reason, I feel that Ryu's death or failure to return is actually part of a plot twist that Ikemoto has prepared, which might turn out to be something far more intriguing than we initially imagined. Or if you don't fully understand what I mean, do you know why Ryu had to end that quickly? From my perspective, I think erasing Ryu's existence was actually a pretty good decision. And yep, regardless of whether Ryu will eventually return as a villain or not, the fact that he doesn't return yet is a second chance for Code, especially if this ties into his mission to betray Jura or return to the original mission of obtaining the chakra fruit that Jura promised him. In other words, so far there is something quite interesting about Ryu's abilities, and that ability is his sensor to detect chakra around him. At this point, Code, who had been hiding behind the black cube for who knows how long, had his hiding place revealed for the first time after the awakening of the Shinju named Ryu. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? Well, what I'm trying to say is, I think that since only Ryu can detect or sense Code's presence, even though he is hiding inside the black cube, believe it or not, this is the perfect opportunity to return to his mission, because at least, after Code was found hiding behind the black cube, Code revealed his reason and said that he wanted to know what the Divine Tree Humans were actually planning and whether they had already carried out their mission to devour Otsutsuki. Yeah, that's at least a brief reason we know after his hiding place was revealed. And if we refer to the initial context of what he was actually waiting for and what he was actually planning next, at least this reason is reasonable enough to guess Code's next move. For some reason, I suspect or am convinced that he will return to his previous strategy of hiding in the black cube while waiting for the next opportunity. Because once again, after Ryu's brief stint as Shinju, which was even shorter than that of some other Divine Tree humans, Code should have more freedom, especially since it's impossible for Code not to know that Ryu has been destroyed. I think that as long as the Divine Tree humans have the ability to use claw marks, Code must have some kind of connection access or something that would allow Code to easily enter or simply spy on them. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? Because no matter how much we debate or deny this statement, the fact is, the birth of the Shinju humans, along with the claw mark ability that can be used to access specific locations like teleportation, all of that is thanks to Code. So, in my opinion, at this point, it seems reasonable to assume that Code already knows about Ryu's death. And since the only remaining Divine Tree humans are Jura, Hidari, and Mamushi, none of them have Ryu's sensor abilities that can detect Code's presence, right? Because, in my personal opinion, Ryu's ability so far is the most interesting among the other Divine Tree humans. This isn't about power or anything like that, but rather it's about how he, with his iron sand, can see or sense an aura or bad intentions. So instead of it being just ordinary iron sand, it actually has the special ability to guess and sense what they are really thinking, or what bad intentions they're going to carry out. So, the conclusion of this reason is that one of the most ideal options is to stay hidden behind that black cube to spy on Jura and the others, especially the mission they are actually planning. Because believe it or not, Code can certainly take advantage of the opportunity if he knows their plans. No matter how big or small the information Code has about Jura's plans, it will certainly have a huge impact in the future, right? So, as a final conclusion, most people might assume that Code will follow Jura's orders to kill Boruto's comrades for the chakra fruit. But as a Boruto addict who always sees things from various perspectives, Code's goal remains the same: to obtain the chakra fruit and evolve into a new Otsutsuki. However, the path he chooses may be very different from before. I mean, as a villain who is rumored to have a storyline similar to Kabuto, yeah, you know what I mean? Sooner or later, a plot twist about Code, who has been missing for quite a long time, will appear with something surprising. Because once again, without Ryu as the Shinju who can detect Code's presence even inside the black cube, Code now has the freedom to track, spy, and so on. In a scenario where I honestly don't know if this will turn out bad or good, what if the Mamushi invasion of Konoha is discovered by Code beforehand? And what I want to say is, what if Code takes advantage of the chaotic situation in Konoha Village? First, as an example, I'm sure most would agree with me that Code could become powerful by consuming Mamushi's Togedama, right? So, in a scenario where Mamushi would definitely be captured by Konoha or something like that, Code, who knew about this plan from the beginning, tried to observe Mamushi's movements. But instead of just observing and doing nothing, Code tried to save Mamushi in case the worst happened and Mamushi was captured by Konoha, as Kashin Koji had said. But of course, what Code actually did was take Togedama Mamushi. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because so far, I'm a little curious why there was no intervention in this operation. And after analyzing it more deeply and connecting several events, such as RYU'S death, Code's hiding, and the trigger that exposed Code's hiding, plus the Mamushi invasion, I think this is a pretty interesting prediction, right? However, in the end, I don't claim that this is 100% legitimate, but if we consider it from various aspects, do you agree with me, guys? If you have a theory that's even more interesting, let's discuss it in the comments. Thank you for watching, like, and subscribe. I'm Nim without the E. See you in the next video.